Right then, Michael, you've had a couple of questions from me. I'm throwing it back at you. I've got two topics for you. Let's have it.
Right.
Kevin De Bruyne, he's announced he's leaving. He's going off to ventures new, wherever that may be. Is he the greatest foreign footballer to play in the Premier League?
Ooh. I'll tell you what, he's got to be considered as one of them right up there. But then instantly coming to my mind are the likes of Mo Salah at the moment, and you going back in time, the likes of Zola and Bergkamp, you know, and Henry and Di Canio. And it's hard, isn't it, to narrow a player down when you're comparing other great players in different positions. Do you know what I mean? It depends what you like. You as a defender, you may admire somebody with the brilliance of like Harry Maguire, you know?
Hell of a player. Should have been a right winger. Should have been a winger.
Yeah. You know, he could get his 5 head on them crosses, can't he? So, no, it's difficult when you're comparing apples with oranges, really. Is the question, is he the best foreign player ever? Or is he the best ball-playing, passing midfielder of all time? It's probably two different questions. Depends what your criteria is, right? Depends if you like what he looks like on the eye. Is it with
ginger?
Sort of before? Is it by the amount of success and trophies that he's won? In which case, there's other clubs, there's other teams you'd look at, isn't there? So it depends. I'm not sure. I think you could make an argument for or against. Where do you sit on it?
Well, I'll tell you what, before I go into my little spiel of where I sit on the fence there, if you're not sure if De Bruyne is, in your opinion, who is then? Because then that will tell me how you judge it.
Well, then again, no, I see again, that's going backwards for me. It depends what we're judging.
It's you, completely your opinion. However you want to define it and judge it, it's up to you. When we do the 1 to 11s, we let them pick their own. How would you define it? And so basically, who would you say is the greatest foreign footballer in the Premier League and why?
I don't know why, but the likes of sort of, like I said, like Zola and Bergkamp are popping into my head. You know, you've then got the goals of sort of a Thierry Henry. You know, for me, the magic of Di Canio and Payet are two more players that were great. I mean, let's not forget, it's a strange old thing that De Bruyne didn't make it at Chelsea. Or is that just because Chelsea are a basket case of a club?
Chelsea also let Salah go.
Yeah, same as Salah. So it's a strange thing. De Bruyne is a great player, and I would say he's known for his free passing and his through balls and unlocking defences and the way he sprays the ball about, right? Would you agree with that criteria?
One of his skills, yeah.
One of his skills. But he hasn't won as many Premier League titles as Gary Neville or David May or Nicky Butt.
That still doesn't answer the question because they're not foreign. Who is, in your opinion, 100 million striker Michael Lever at a bargain price? Who's the greatest foreign footballer to play in the Premiership?
Jasper Blomqvist.
Hell of a player. I'd have gone Alexander Putnam myself, but you know.
Jordi Cruyff.
I mean, to be fair, great name. Great name.
Well, no, yes and no. It was like when Callum Best tried to play football for a little while. Like, talk about the responsibility on your shoulders to have that name. But that's probably an episode all on its own. No, I don't know. My instinct says he's probably not the greatest foreign player in the Premier League era. But I'm struggling to pin down who I think is.
See, when you were saying Zola and Bergkamp, I was leaning towards you saying that because they sort of revolutionised that position. England was always a 4-4-2. Then suddenly the 10 position started coming in with Bergkamp, and then you had Zola dropping into the space. Di Canio wasn't really an out-and-out striker. He was in the little hole, finding the gap. So I thought you were looking at more, they sort of revolutionised the position. Even Thierry Henry, he was an inside forward.
Devil's avocado, when I think of that number 10, It was Englishman Teddy Sheringham, Devil's Avocado. It was Englishman Teddy Sheringham that had that name rolled after him. That is the Sheringham roll. So did they?
But as per usual, English players don't get the credit in England.
No.
Very few English players get the credit they deserve in England, where I think if they play abroad, it's a completely different thing. So if I said to you right then, okay, if, say we go for midfielders, can you think of a better foreign midfielder than Kevin De Bruyne in the Premier League?
Well, sadly, I don't think the overlap of the Premier League was quite enough for Jan Molby. But
I thought you were going to say Souček then.
No, he could do everything.
The ballon box.
Jan Molby could do everything with a ball that De Bruyne could. No?
Bold statement. Bold statement.
I'm standing on it. But
standing on it. Only because you're compared to Jan.
Yeah. Do you know what I thought you were going to say? Why you've just made a point there about English players not getting the same amount of credit. Why are we lifting De Bruyne up just because he's foreign? Because I'd rather have a prime Paul Gascoigne than a De Bruyne.
Over Lampard or Gerrard?
Yeah.
Gascoigne over Lampard or Gerrard?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely. Hang on. Is he sober or pissed?
Well, whichever he's best at. Right. Probably half and half. Just a couple of shots.
Probably, yeah. But
is that a JD?
Okay. So let's have a think about. Let's throw some foreign midfielders at each other, and then I'll tell you what you do. Best thing to do is let's do a quick fire. You give me this like so and so or De Bruyne, so and so or De Bruyne, so and so, and we'll see if he remains as the king on top. Right, winner stays on.
Winner stays on. Right, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to include this because he technically is foreign. I'm going to throw in there Roy Keane.
Again, are you comparing apples and oranges?
No. That's a centre midfield position. You need to do a bit of everything. You got to do it all. Where are you going?
Well, Keane then.
Keane. All right.
Keane score goals. Keane was a leader. Keane won tackles. Keane won many more accolades and trophies. So we've got that straight away. We've got De Bruyne off the top. Before we move on with the winner stays on, do you agree with that?
No.
Okay.
No, from my opinion, I think Vieira was better than Keane.
No, but De Bruyne.
Well, Vieira's the next one.
Right. Well, I think Vieira was better than Keane, although Keane won more, arguably. Certainly Premier Leagues. Arsenal done well in FA Cups.
Yeah, true that. If we look at
Vieira,
we'll put it towards the attacking position we're going to look at then. So we're looking at the attacking position, then we're going to go with, what about Pires?
Pires was good, but what are we comparing him to, Vieira or De Bruyne?
Let's go with De Bruyne. Let's go back to De Bruyne, right? We'll go with this 10 position we're talking about. So we're looking at 10, like inside, forward, like the attacking side of it.
This is an even playing field. Because when you're comparing a 10 to a Vieira or a Keane, it's a different argument.
Okay, so we're going to go Pires and Ljungberg. I'm going to throw them both together. Fuck it. Do you have any of them above De Bruyne?
De Bruyne tops both of them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Confident with that?
Yeah.
What about Bruno Fernandes?
He moans too much and he's in a poor side. Still De Bruyne.
Still De Bruyne? All right. David Silva.
Ooh.
You know what? That's what I was waiting for. The Silva conversation.
Bosh. Throw it in there, yeah.
Think about it.
Love it. I mean, is it just in the Premier League? Because I think David Silva's international credentials outdo De Bruyne. And he could do everything De Bruyne could in terms of the passing ability. I'd go Silva.
You go Silva. Yeah, but don't forget, De Bruyne's physicality. He was a monster of a man. Like people forget how big he is. He's a big dude. And he could move either foot. Silva was very much deft, passing, left foot, ability, drop over the shoulder, like an absolute horrible number 10 player to play against. But De Bruyne could move the ball as well. As good as Silva's dribbling was, he could get away from you. De Bruyne would leave you in his dust.
Yeah, but I mean, David Silva was small and diminutive. You know, low centre of gravity, could turn quickly, move the ball about like a what was his name? Played for City and Arsenal. Got fat. Nasri.
Yeah.
He was another one. Another one I would throw into to contest both of them is who I said at the beginning, Gianfranco Zola.
Gianfranco.
Yeah.
Do you think Gianfranco is? Where would you go, Gianfranco or De Bruyne?
I'd go with Gianfranco Zola.
I'd go De Bruyne there.
You're going to have to let us know in the comments below who is the best foreign Premier League player of all time. What's the criteria? Is it how much they've won? Is it how many goals they've scored? Is it the teams they played for? Is it the way they revolutionised the role? Let us know. Like, comment, subscribe, and let us know in the argument. We want to know what you think. We're at a deadlock. We can't decide.
One apiece.